Okay, so be honest with me. When you watched Avatar The Last Airbender as a kid, did you actually think it was just about a bored 12-year-old kid on a flying bison? Same. I thought the biggest controversy in this show was whether Zuko deserved a redemption arc. Turns out, while we were busy debating Zutara versus Katang on the school Wi Fi, this show was quietly reenacting the Berlin Conference. Now, hear me out, I'm not exaggerating. Watch it again as an adult, especially an African adult whose grandparents have opinions about colonization, and you start noticing things. The fire, the burned villages, and become in peace also give us your land energy from the Fire Nation. Some of us didn't need a textbook for that. Some of us needed one Sunday lunch with grandma. Everyone else online does the this is basically Imperial Japan video. And sure, fair point, valid. But today we're doing the African remix.
He's drowning my pain with his fingers. He's singing my life to his pulse. He's killing me softly with his song. He's killing me softly with his song. Telling my whole life with his song. He's killing me softly. With his song. Remix, killing me softly with his. Dylan. What's that? What?
Every empire has one line they say with a straight face while taking everything you own. Firelord Sozin tells Avatar Roku, we should share this prosperity with the rest of the world. Honestly, that's not a better plan. That's a LinkedIn post. Thrilled to announce our nation's expansion into new markets. This is literally the energy of the 1884 Berlin Conference, where European leaders sat around a table and divided up an entire continent without anyone from the continent in the meeting. Imagine planning someone's whole house renovation without telling them. That's the vibe. They didn't even bring snacks for us, and we were the ones losing in continent. The Fire Nation has the tech, the Earth Kingdom doesn't. And that gap is exactly how colonizers operated here too. Bigger guns, smaller conscience. And just like the Fire Nation wasn't actually sharing prosperity, colonizers weren't bringing civilization. They wanted the resources. In Avatar, it's coal and metal. Back home, it was rubber, gold, diamonds. Same script, different continent, equally bad acting. Now, we get to the part where the show stops playing around. The genocide of the air nomads. It isn't just the bad guys did a bad thing, it's calculated. It's annihilation with a purpose. And look, I love a good roast, but I'm not about to crack a joke about genocide, fictional or not, because we've got real ones in family history. The forced labor on King Leopold's rubber plantations in the Congo is not far off from the earthbenders chained up on a metal prison rig. Except the show eventually lets the earthbenders go. Leopold's victims didn't get that messy. And that man still has statues people are arguing talking talking taking down. If Ozai got a statue after all that, the internet would never recover. The raid that kills Katara and Sokka's mother and captures every waterbender, that's cultural erasure with extra steps. Check out the people who hold the knowledge and the spirit of the community, and broken you've broken something that takes generations to fix. That's not new to us. Colonizers went after traditional leaders and knowledge keepers the same way. I say all this with love, not to be heavy for no reason, but because this is exactly why the show hits different for us.
I'm trying to be mature and not immediately shoot down your idea, but it sounds really terrible.
It doesn't sugarcoat that occupation costs, and honestly, neither should we. You cannot run an empire for 100 years on weapons alone. Somebody's got.
Book?
That's not just cartoon logic. Colonial education across Africa did the exact same thing. Pre colonial history got rebranded as backward. Colonization got rebranded as progress. Resistance movements got quietly removed like a bad Wikipedia edit. A lot of us only got the real version from our elders, way later, usually delivered with the kind of disappointed tone only an African auntie can produce. And Basing say, there is no war in Basing say. It's basically the colonial version of nothing to see here. Please disperse. Except with secret police and tea ceremonies. If you're enjoying me turning your childhood cartoon into a history lecture with jokes, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. It genuinely helps the channel, and honestly, it's cheaper than therapy for both of us. War ends, Zuko's on the throne. Great. Roll credits. Except no. Because how somebody has to clean up. The Harmony Restoration Movement tries to send Fire Nation colonialists home, which sounds fair until you realize entire generations were born in those colonies. Families are mixed, cultures are blended. You can't just hit and do. No matter how badly Aang wants to, it can't be done. Sound familiar? Independence era Africa had this exact headache. Borders drawn by colonizers at the infamous table, the ones with the snacks we weren't invited to, stayed put. Settler population in places like Algeria, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and South Africa didn't pick up and vanish the moment a new flag was raised. Untangling all of that wasn't a reset button. It was the honesty still is. It honestly still is. A very long, very awkward group project where half the group ghosted. And here's the kicker. The show admits the piece is flawed. No real war crimes were put on trial. No reparations. Just a shiny new multicultural nation built directly on top of the wreckage. With the let's all move forward together energy. That's giving very. We don't talk about that anymore. We don't talk about Bruno. Am I right? And a lot of post colonial nations know that scripts word for. That's giving very we don't talk about Bruno energy. And a lot of post colonial nations know that script word for word. Independence was won, the inherited inequalities still RSVP'd, yes, and showed up anyway. Here's what gets me about Avatar. It doesn't let the kids off easy, and it definitely doesn't let the adults off easy either. War isn't an adventure, it's a wound. Peace isn't a finish line, it's homework that never really ends. Watching it as an African isn't about making the story heavier for fun, it's that the pattern feels familiar. Take the land, break the culture, write a nicer story about it later, hope nobody checks the receipts. The fire changes shape, The names change. The Empire always has a PR team, but the script where we read is the same as before. What other kids shows low key traumatize you with accurate history? Tell me in the comments. I want to see who else figured this out at the age of 11 and never recovered. Like, subscribe, and come back for the next one because apparently cartoons are just history class with better animation.